There are moments, my friends, when life, in all its complexity, reveals itself in the most ordinary of actions. A cup of tea, a small cake, a fleeting taste on the tongue, and suddenly, the weight of years, the entire expanse of memory, collapses into the present. In such moments, time itself seems to break. Even as I sit here writing this episode, I find myself savoring a simple bite of a Madeleine soaked in tea, just like Proust's narrator. Welcome to Episode 3. We are not who we thought we were. We are not simply a sum of days lived and days forgotten. No, within us, dormant and silent, lies every memory, every experience, every moment of joy or sorrow, patiently waiting for its resurrection. Today, we enter such a moment, a scene where a small, humble Madeleine becomes a bridge between present and past, a key that unlocks an entire world of forgotten memories. It is in this scene from In Search of Lost Time that Marcel Proust masterfully shows us how fragile and elusive time truly is. Here, we are no longer the architects of our own memories. They come to us unbidden, rising from the depths of our senses, an involuntary memory that floods the soul, like a long-buried river suddenly surging back to life, overwhelming us with a past we thought was lost forever. This is not a conscious act of remembering. No, it is something far deeper, something that stirs quietly in the recesses of the heart, in those shadowed corners of the mind we scarcely know exist. And it is this involuntary memory, this sudden, almost violent return to the past, that we shall contemplate together today. In Swann's Way, the narrator, in a moment of pure habit, dips a Madeleine into a cup of tea, an act so insignificant that one might overlook it entirely. But as the Madeleine touches his lips, something extraordinary occurs. It is not merely the taste that captivates him, but the way that flavor reaches deep within him, unlocking doors to a past he thought was lost forever. In that single bite, he is no longer in the present. Instead, he is transported back to his childhood in Cambrai, where the memories of his younger self, of his family, his home, rush back with vivid clarity. This one small act becomes a portal to another time, another life. But this moment is not about the simple pleasure of a taste. It is about the way the senses, taste, texture, warmth, awaken the soul. The warmth of the tea, the softness of the pastry, the fleeting flavor, all combine to stir something deep within him, something buried beneath the surface of everyday consciousness. It's a flood of memories, rich and textured, that he could not access on his own, no matter how hard he might have tried. This is not a voluntary recollection, but something involuntary, primal even. It's as if the memories have been waiting, lying in wait, for the perfect moment to re-emerge, summoned not by logic or thought, but by the senses. Now, my friends, if we reflect on our own lives, we realize how often we too are pulled back into forgotten worlds by the smallest of things. Think of the way a familiar song on the radio can carry you back to a long-ago summer, or how the scent of a particular perfume can stir emotions you thought had faded. We live in a time where the pace of life seems relentless, where each day pushes us forward, away from the past. Yet, it is in these unexpected moments, a fleeting smell, the warmth of the sun on our face, or the taste of a long-forgotten dish, that the past reaches out to us. And in those moments, time becomes fluid. The boundaries between what was and what is dissolve. And for a brief instant, we are living in two worlds at once, the present and the past as real and alive as it ever was. Proust's Madeleine is a symbol of this profound connection between the senses and memory. It's not the physical act of eating the pastry that matters, but the way that sensory experience pulls the narrator away from the present and back into a forgotten time. The taste, texture, and warmth of the tea unlock not just memories, but the emotions, the sensations, the very life that once was. And how many of us, in the rush of modern life, have experienced this same phenomenon? How many of us, without even realizing it, are one smell, one sound, one taste away from being transported back into the deepest recesses of our memories. In the end, the Madeleine is not just a trigger for memory. It's a reminder that our lives, though fleeting, are layered with meaning, that the past is never truly lost, and that it is through the smallest and most unexpected experiences that we reconnect with who we once were. In this way, the Madeleine represents more than just a passage back to childhood for Proust's narrator. It is a symbol of the way we all carry our histories within us, waiting to be awakened by the simple, sensory moments that fill our days. The Madeleine in Proust's narrative isn't just a pastry, my friends. It is far more than that. It becomes a vessel, a symbol, for how the most ordinary, everyday experiences can hold the keys to our most profound memories. It is a reminder that life, in all its grand complexity, is often captured in the smallest of things. This little cake, dipped in tea, unlocks the door to an entire past, not through dramatic events or conscious thought, but through something as simple as taste. In our own lives, we are surrounded by these Madeleines, objects, sounds, smells, and tastes that quietly hold within them pieces of who we once were. We don't realize their significance until the moment strikes. A worn-out photograph, a forgotten melody, a familiar scent on a cold winter's morning. These are the threads that weave us back into our own history. These small things can suddenly connect us to a time we thought was lost, pulling us into a memory that feels as real and present as the moment we are living right now. The Madeleine embodies a deeper truth, one that Proust explores throughout In Search of Lost Time. Time is elusive. It slips through our fingers even as we live it, and yet it is never truly gone. It lingers beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to resurface. And often, it is through these seemingly trivial experiences, an ordinary taste, a familiar sound, that we are able to recover what we thought was lost forever. We, too, experience this in our fast-paced lives. We rush through our days, forgetting the moments that shaped us, the people we once were. But every now and then, we are caught off guard. Perhaps it's the smell of rain that takes you back to childhood summers, or the sound of an old friend's voice that transports you to another time. These moments remind us that time, though fleeting, is never completely out of reach. It lives within us, waiting to be brought back through these small, sensory experiences that can flood us with memories we had forgotten were there. So, the Madeleine is not just a symbol for the narrator's personal journey. It is a symbol for all of us. It teaches us that time is not linear, not something that is left behind as we march forward. It is layered, folded into the fabric of our being, ready to reawaken through the smallest of acts. It is in these moments that we rediscover our own lives in all their fullness and depth. This moment, my friends, where the taste of the Madeleine carries the narrator back into his past, is but the beginning. It is the first of many instances in Search of Lost Time where memory acts on its own, slipping past the barriers of conscious thought. The narrator does not seek out these memories. They come to him uninvited, like shadows emerging from the depths of his mind. Proust reveals that we are not the architects of our own memories. We cannot control them, summon them at will, or choose which parts of the past to revisit. Instead, these memories rise from within us, stirred by the senses, reminding us of experiences we thought had vanished with time. How true this is in our own lives. We walk through our days, burdened by the present, focused on the tasks and worries that fill our minds. Yet we are not free from the past. It lives within us, hidden in the recesses of our thoughts, waiting for the smallest trigger to pull us back into another time. Involuntary memory is a force we cannot control, but one that reveals the complexity of who we are. Our past is not a series of neatly arranged events, but a chaotic collection of feelings, moments, and images, all waiting to resurface at the slightest provocation. Proust's exploration of involuntary memory is not just about the past itself, but about the nature of time. Time, as we understand it in our daily lives, moves forward relentlessly, and we often believe that the past is behind us, out of reach. But Proust shows us that time is far more fluid, far more unpredictable. The past is never truly gone. It exists within us, shaping us, influencing our every thought, our every action, even if we are unaware of it. Involuntary memory, then, becomes a doorway to understanding the self, revealing how deeply we are shaped by moments and experiences that we don't consciously control. In today's world, where we are constantly bombarded by distractions and caught up in the rush of life, we forget that we carry our entire history within us. We may think we have moved on from certain chapters of our lives, but a single sound, a smell, or a fleeting taste can bring it all back with startling clarity. These moments of involuntary memory remind us of the intricate tapestry of time and experience that we live with every day. We are not separate from our pasts, no matter how distant they may seem. In Proust's novel, and in our own lives, the past and present are intertwined, forever shaping the person we become. The scene with the Madeleine, my friends, is not merely a reflection on nostalgia. It goes much deeper. It speaks to the way the past lives inside each of us, hidden, waiting for the right moment, the right sensation to emerge. The Madeleine is a metaphor for how we reconnect with lost time, not by actively searching for it, but by allowing it to find us through the subtle power of our senses. We are shaped by the moments we do not even know still linger within us, waiting for that one taste, sound, or scent to bring them back to life. As we close today's episode, I ask you to reflect on this. How often do we ignore the small things in our lives, the sensory experiences that hold more power than we realize? How many of our memories are waiting to be reawakened by the smallest of triggers? Do we control our past, or does it control us? What moments from your own life are waiting to resurface? And what might be the Madeleine that brings them back to you? In our next episode, we will continue this exploration of time, diving deeper into how Proust grapples with its passage, the way memory bends and stretches it, and how we all navigate the inevitable flow of time in our own lives. Until then, I leave you with this thought. We are not merely creatures of the present. We carry with us an entire world of the past, woven into our being, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. So, perhaps in the rush of life we should pause. Who knows what forgotten memory may come to meet us when we least expect it. Farewell, my friends, until we meet again.